Yo, what's good everyone? Today I'm going to be breaking down some of my favorite tournament or GPP plays for this Week 3 NFL DraftKings main slate. Let's dive right into it. And like I always do here in these videos, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of my cheat sheet where I go through a couple of games that I like targeting from a game stack perspective this weekend, as well as some of my favorite individual plays and stacks. But don't forget, I am running that free Discord channel as well. You can see that mentioned above, where I'm going to break down this slate even further and really just have a great group of people in there talking their favorite plays and their favorite bets. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment below. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of games that I like targeting from a stacking perspective this week, and starting with that game between the Cardinals and Lions. And I do believe we can stack up either side of this game. If you wanted to roll out Kyler, who I mentioned in my cash plays video yesterday with Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, I have no problem with that, but I like going this route here with Jared Goff, St. Brown, and Laporta. I'll be mixing in Jameson Williams as well, and then running it back on the Cardinals side with Trey McBride. But what I do know here is that I want to be attacking the passing game from both sides, because both defenses in this game have been very good against the run, especially the Lions. And then another game that I like targeting here from a stacking perspective this weekend is that game between the Cowboys and Ravens. Now, I know both of these teams haven't lived up to expectations through 2 weeks, especially the Baltimore Ravens, and neither one of these defenses have been very good either. It is early in the season. I'm sure both these teams are going to figure it out, but I think there's some shootout potential in this game, and I think we can stack it up on either side as well. But I'm going to be leaning on the Cowboys side, where I got Dak stacked up with CD and Jake Ferguson, who did practice in full here on Friday, and then running it back with Derrick Henry, because Alvin Kamara ate that Cowboys defense up last week, and that secondary for the Baltimore Ravens has been mediocre at best through 2 weeks. Now, before we dive into these individual plays, everyone, I wanted to quickly let you know that I'm doing an NFL jersey giveaway in my Discord channel right now, and I'll be doing the drawing this weekend for that during the Sunday night football game. If you want to join the Discord and get on that giveaway, it is completely free. There's a link to do so in the description below, as well as in the pinned comment. Alright, now diving into some of these individual plays and stacks here, we're going to start it off at the quarterback position, and another game that I almost highlighted from a game stack perspective was that game between the Texans and Vikings. Now, don't get me wrong, both of these defenses here have played very well through 2 weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is a lower scoring game, but the offensive weapons on both sides are definitely there to turn this into a shootout as well. So I like stacking up Sam Darnold with Justin Jefferson, obviously, but also a cheaper wide receiver here and Jalen Naylor. And then I think we have to talk about Derek Carr and really that Saints offense as a whole. I'm going to put him as an honorable mention, because anytime I highlight him as a regular play, he tends to have a dud, but he'll be sprinkled into my tournament lineups for sure this weekend. Now, moving on to the running backs here, and I did highlight a handful of value running backs in my cash plays video yesterday. They'll absolutely be sprinkled into my tournament lineups as well. One guy that I actually mentioned in there was Devon Achane. I love him on the tournament side of things. It sounds like Raheem Mostert is doubtful again this weekend, so Achane should see close to 20 touches in this game, be heavily involved in the passing game as well, and he can score from anywhere on the field. And then Rachaad White is kind of flying under the radar right now, but he was a full participant in practice on Friday, and I like that matchup against the Denver Broncos. This could be a game where the Bucs kind of take control from beginning and then just run it out in the second half. And then we got the wide receivers here. Now, I've highlighted already some expensive elite wide receivers. Name drop Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Next guys that I want to highlight here are offering some value. The first one's going to be Rashid Shaheed. He is a playmaker on this Saints offense. He's another guy that can score from anywhere on the field, and he's more involved this year, what I really like to see. He's still kind of floating around that 4 to 6 target range, but ultimately, again, he can score a 70-yard touchdown in the snap of a finger. I really like Tank Dell here in this game between the Vikings and the Texans. He's been kind of disappointing through 2 weeks, right? But if you go look at the deeper analytics with this guy, it's not because the plays haven't been there. It's not going to be long before he has that 20-25 point performance that we're looking for in tournaments. And then already name dropped Jalen Naylor as well. One honorable mention that I got there, though, is Adam Thielen. My theory here is that him and the Red Rocket are going to connect early and often. And then I got a singular tight end there in the individual plays. Talked about Laporta, McBride, Ferguson already. Also highlighted some value value plays at the tight end position in my cash plays video yesterday, so again, make sure you go check that out. But Brock Bowers is living up to that first round hype through 2 weeks. He is clearly a weapon in this offense, still behind Devontae Adams, but a really good matchup this week against Carolina, so I have no problem spending up for him. And then going over to the defenses here, I like the Packers because Will Levis just has not been great through 2 weeks, and the Packers have played surprisingly well, considering the situation, right? I don't think anybody thought that defense was going to be bad, but losing Jordan Love, playing on the road in Brazil against Philly in their first game. Week 2, you kind of got to figure it out with Malik Willis at the quarterback position. Now this week, it sounds like Love could be back, but even if he isn't, I like that matchup there against Will Levis. Talked about the Bucs and the Bears in my cash plays video, and then the Steelers here. I like this if Justin Herbert does not play this weekend. Sounds like he is questionable. And then the Vikings have just made plays through 2 weeks, did so against the 49ers last week. I know it's a tough matchup here against the Houston Texans, but really affordable there at 2,400. All right, everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great weekend here, folks. Let's win some money on this week 3 main slate. And in the meantime, I'm out of here.